Hi, everybody, and welcome to Build. I'm your host, Cole Delbick from HuffPost, and today we're joined by actress and singer Dove Cameron. She made her name on the Disney Channel in Liv and Maddie, and of course the Descendants movies, and now she's switching it up on Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Dove plays Ruby, a mysterious and fiercely intelligent teenage assassin with some serious mom issues. She's a much welcome addition to one of my favorite shows, and we have a clip from last week's episode, so let's take a look.
Come on in and join the party.
Oh, you can talk.
When I feel like it.
What is this place?
A safe house.
Why are you here?
I live here.
Why am I here?
You will get all of your questions answered when you get them answered.
From who?
Mother. What?
You still have that scar?
The one you got when you were a kid.
How did you know?
We used to play together. Ruby, right?
I don't remember you.
You hit your head on the kitchen counter. That's how you got it.
I remember the floor.
Black and white checkers. I was supposed to be watching you, so I got blamed. My father beat me in front of you. And your mother. I want to see her. Now.
Let's give it up, everybody. Yay. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me and coming out in this crazy weather.
I know your fans came out in the snow to see you.
Most die hard. I love you guys.
Well, I'm so happy to see you here. You know, I've been a fan of yours for a long time, but I'm excited to talk to you now at this sort of juncture in your career. You know, your Disney days are sort of getting behind you, and so many incredible opportunities lie ahead. So I'm curious, what sort of material are you attracted to now? And how does that translate to you coming aboard Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Jumping
Coming aboard?
Yeah, I mean, well, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. came along at a really interesting time, didn't it? It was such a strange, it seems like I purposefully made like a sort of a transitional move, sort of outside of Disney. I think I sort of get the vibe that that's what a lot of my fans think. You know, I've always wanted to do the kind of material that S.H.I.E.L.D. has allowed me to do recently. And I've always found it kind of funny and a bit like unexpected, just knowing myself how many like nice girls I've gotten to play. That sounds awful. That sounds like I'm a terrible person and I don't know why people keep letting me play nice girls. I used to get the note a lot early on in my career when I would go for this sort of like girl next door or like the nice girl that I was really intense. And sometimes I would even get the note that I like made casting directors uncomfortable. They're like, I don't know why you keep sending her for this stuff. She's not funny. Like she's kind of scary. And it's so funny because that's all I've played. And so now a role like this seems a bit left field, but this is the kind of stuff that I really love to play. And I feel like the first part of my career was really kind of learning how to do everything else and learning how to be, you know, a bit more learning about comedy. That was something that I had no idea I was ever gonna venture into. So S.H.I.E.L.D. has been great. And now as well, it's been stretching my physical abilities. And I mean, the showrunners are just fantastic. They've been letting me live my wildest, scariest, most action-y dreams.
Yeah, so you're sort of getting maybe back in touch with a side of yourself that a lot of your fans haven't seen. That's sort of exciting. Yeah,
I think it's really exciting. I mean, I definitely, at 5'2", never thought that I was going to be any sort of assassin. But it's been super fun for me. And yeah, it's definitely been like a sort of I get to explore a darker side or just kind of, I mean, as an actor, I think that the reason why most people want to be actors is because they feel that they have a lot of colors in them, and acting is like it's like a stress release. You get to like kind of like express all of the things in you so that then you can like sleep at night, you know? It's like writing in your diary. It's like you get to be all of your emotions. It's amazingly therapeutic. And so, yeah, I think that this has just been like a really nice time for me in terms of like getting to express kind of this artistic side of myself.
Yeah, well, it feels like sort of the right character at the right moment. And I want to talk a little bit about Ruby because she low-key terrifies me.
She's, yeah, high-key terrifying.
The way she throws that blade, or I was like, Dove, stop, oh my God.
Yeah, Ruby, so yeah, her chakram, right?
Chakram,
Which
yes.
actually, little fun fact, I don't know if you guys who saw Black Panther? So amazing, right? I was so ready, it was amazing. That was one of the most perfect, like, films from head to toe. There was nothing that I could find fault in that movie, and I know I'm not alone in that. But what I didn't realize is how crafty Marvel is with tying in their stuff. The warrior women carry around chakrams as well.
Really? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
I know, and somebody told me that on set. They were like, if you go and see Black Panther, they have the same weapon, and I totally geeked out. I was in the audience. I was like, I touched one of those.
I love those Easter eggs in the Marvel Universe that sort of connect at this big, big web all together.
They're amazing at that. I know, they're unparalleled with that kind of thing. Yeah, Ruby's really scary. I mean, we've only seen a couple episodes, so I can't tell you as much as I'd like to about Ruby. But I'm really glad that you find her scary. That's my ultimate goal, is that she's offsetting, so.
Well, I love sort of the duality in the character because when we first meet her, she's this sort of surly, angsty teen that's clashing with her mom, and you think it's sort of this typical domestic situation. And then we see her in this big reveal, chopping people's arms off, sort of
Casual.
just casual.
Casual Thursday.
And really going toe-to-toe with this S.H.I.E.L.D. team. So what is it like to play both sides of this character? Because maybe that other side's a little bit more close to home from what we've seen from you so far.
Yeah, I'm just a surly teen, just walking around New York being surly. Yeah, you know, I think that the writers, I think they had this idea to kind of maybe trick the audience into thinking that Ruby was just sort of like a surly teen obsessed with Daisy Johnson, and she was going to be, you know, I think that they didn't want the reveal in the end of Ruby's first episode to be obvious. Yeah. We wanted it to be a big reveal. So I don't know if there's actually much duality in Ruby. I think that she's less of a, you know, she's less that typical rebellious teen, and she really is more the kind of calculated assassin that her mother has trained her to be since she was born, which has got to be such a lonely existence, right? Like, it's just got to create such a monster to feel like your one purpose in life is something so dark, and the only way to please your parents or your mother, the only person who really knows you, is to tap into this like really dark kind of inhuman thing. Because she is actually just a teenage girl, but that part of her I think is really hidden. Yeah.
Yeah, but she gets a little bit more human interaction, though. Well, she's locked away. You know, she's guarded by her mom. But we see in the clip that everyone just saw some sort of possible relationship chemistry developing with Alex, right?
I know. How funny is that we watched that and we're all like, oh, they're cute together.
Yeah, not so cute in that scene, but there's a little bit more
and
to
we're like, we saw that, and they have good chemistry. Yeah, possibly. I mean, I think the idea with Ruby, I talked to the showrunners in the beginning of this whole experience, and I asked them, I said, you know, what do we think? Because with Marvel, they keep everything very top secret, as they should, because, I mean, I'm a huge Marvel fan. I wouldn't want anything revealed to me before it was ready. But I asked them a kind of a delicate question, and I said, what do we think? Do we think that Ruby has feelings? Do we think that Ruby maybe was born without empathy? Do we think that Ruby has empathy and is just so far gone that she's confused? And they told me, they said, I think that even you as the actress should not know the answer to that question. And I can say that, you know, in my episode that I did last, a lot was revealed to me because we don't get the episodes until right before we film it. So a lot more made sense to me about Ruby, and a lot more will make sense as it goes. I'm sworn to Marvel secrecy, but yeah, I think that she has an interest in Alex. I think that she doesn't even quite know. I mean, how many young peer boys has she ever experienced? Right? Maybe none. So I think that she looks at him like an opportunity and like an assignment, but I think she might have her own interests in him that she might not recognize in herself yet for what they are.
Can't wait for these reveals.
So many reveals. I'm like, just wait on everything that you're asking.
I heard, I mean, speaking of Marvel's secrecy, I heard you didn't even know the role that you were auditioning for when this all started. So is there really like DEF CON level, you know, scripts are sealed, everything that we've sort of heard about the Marvel universe? Is that true?
Yeah, but honestly, I come from Disney Channel, so it's not that much different there, right? It's Disney, so Marvel's Disney as well now, so it's it wasn't anything super unfamiliar to me. But yeah, when I went in, they had written fake sides. They'd written sides that never actually ended up getting filmed, and it was because then if the actresses read it, you know, who's to say that an actress wouldn't get on her Twitter and reveal something about the show? So they make up these sides that you read in the audition room, and they give you as little details as possible. They told me all that was there was Ruby, 17, cunning, cooler than you, in quotes, cooler than you'll ever be, I think. And then it said, mysterious obsession with Quake, Daisy Johnson. And that was it. But in my experience as an actor, one big thing that I've learned is that if I try to go in and I like psych myself out that I need to be, because you know, the job of an actor is just to fill a role. And if you go in and you're a great actor, but you're not the kind of role, you're not bringing the energy that the director maybe wants, it won't go to you. And so you can't take anything personally. So to go in and try to like psych yourself up and try to be what you think they want with such little information to go on, I've learned at this point that it's better to just go in and play how you would want it to be done. You're like, okay, if I'm going to do this role for 6 months, what kind of character do I want to play? And then if they like it, that's great news, because then you don't have to second guess yourself, and it can be a really educational experience for you as well. So that's what I did, and they just ended up, I mean, I played her a little off, and it ended up working. So yeah, I had no idea what I was getting myself into, but.
That sounds, though, oddly liberating, because you can almost carve the character out yourself when it's not directly, at least on the page, when you first saw it. And you bring such a special energy to her, and there is a little bit like, oh, this girl's a little psycho. And I don't know, maybe that wouldn't have been apparent had you not gotten the role. So you do it really, really well.
Oh, thank you so much.
And we mentioned this before. This is a physical role. Like, you are at the boxing bag. You're going these major stunts. What is it like to sort of tackle this different type of experience on set? Did you prepare a lot, or just like get in touch with your inner badass? Like, how did it happen?
Yeah, so basically, S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, I think anybody who's ever heard of the show knows that it's extremely physical. And what I can say is that these actors are really fighting. Like, when I showed up, everybody was like, okay, you work with Chloe. Like, Chloe's the badass of the group. Like, she does everything. And like, and Chloe even met me on the same day. She's like, hey, I'm Chloe. And I was like, hey, I'm Chloe too. She's like, nice to meet you. And she's so funny. Chloe's like one of my favorite people in the world. But I was so terrified of her. I was like, hi. She's really powerful. She's really, you know, she's like intimidating, and she's got such a nice energy to her. By the way, also shout out to you, Chloe. I love you so much. And she ended up being like one of my best friends on set. But anyway, I'm girl crushing.
No, I love her Instagram. I'm like constantly like, oh my gosh.
She's so cute, right? I love her. I'll literally text her like in the middle of the night being like, what does your hair look right now? I'm like, you look so cute all the time. But basically, also, did you guys hear me omit the word like? What does your hair look right now? But yeah, so Chloe's incredible. I mean, all of them fight, but Chloe's like the kind of extracurricular girl. She'll be like, if you want to meet up on the weekends, like Saturday, I just want to fight. Like, let's make this fight the best fight we can ever fight. Like, let's just do it. Like, I'll train you, whatever. But everybody's like that. Like, everybody comes in and like they're all like, yeah, we'll like work out with you. We'll like make it like a training day, because you never know what to expect on S.H.I.E.L.D. You never know what you're gonna have to do. But yeah, everybody's so amazing. I can't tell you too much about the physical stuff that I have to do or get to do really. But what I can say is I was really in over my head at first. It's the boxing itself. I was like, you guys know I'm really small, right? They were like, it's fine, we'll make it look good.
It does look good. It was very convincing, and so I was like...
Oh, thank you. You're very kind.
You know, that's so nice to hear about sort of those behind-the-scenes moments, and, you know, this cast has been together for 5 years.
It's one of my favorite casts I've
Really?
ever met in my whole life.
So what is it about that makes them so tight-knit?
They're just the best. I don't know. I'm like blushing and crying. They were just so welcoming. Like, my first day, It was really, they were like, welcome, like you're part of the family now, and everybody like really made an effort to talk to. Sorry, can you guys tell? I've had this. Remember when I tweeted that I was sick like a month and a half ago? I'm still coughing, you guys. It's terrible. Oh, no. So I'm sorry. I know I'm talking like this, and I'm like trying not to cough into the mic. There we go. Yeah, I showed up, and everybody like really made a huge effort to talk to me, especially Clark. Clark and I got really close as well. Clark and I spent a couple nights like crying over musical theater on the set because we'd be there for like 14 hours, and I'd be like, and he'd be like, come here, and we just like sit down on like the wrestling mats and like cry. He was so sweet. Clark's the sweetest guy. We've like one earbud in, like debating over like Rihanna or Beyonce. He's amazing. I'm not going to tell you who won. I'm not going to tell you who was on whose set because I don't want to create trauma.
I know we don't want to Stan War here.
Yeah,
yes.
No Stan Wars. But yeah, the whole cast, and I got really close with Ian and Elizabeth as well at the end. Yeah.
Your character does have this sort of obsession with Daisy Johnson. She has a poster
Just
of her,
like in real life. Yeah.
right? Poster of her in her room. But it's this interesting tension because you are sort of on this anti-S.H.I.E.L.D. team, but idolize Daisy. So what can you tease about that? Might Daisy bring Ruby over to the good side? Is there any redemption to be had here?
That's a really interesting question. I've never been asked that question. It's so funny because I just came out of this whole world, and so now I can tell why it would be so confusing. Well, I can tell you that anything is possible in this show and in the Marvel Universe. I mean, there's a kind of a yes and a no to every question that you've asked. Like, Ruby is a very unpredictable girl, and it's just a really big arc. It's a really big arc is all I can really say.
Ooh, I can't wait.
I know, you'll be very pleased. It's very crazy.
Well, we're going to put your acting aside for right now, but I want to talk about music. You have so many fans in that arena, especially with all your work on the Disney Channel, and I know you have some sort of exciting news to share.
Yes, yeah, I actually, well, I promised my fans that I was going to have some music news today, and I was going to go somewhere. So basically, guys, here's the delay with that. I was going to go somewhere, and I was going to announce something, but the snow has shut down the whole building. And so now I can't go to where I was going to go, so I'm just going to say it now, and then you guys can be a little bit sad that it's not, this big splashy thing that I was going to do, but I'm really excited to tell you guys, and I can't wait anymore. I am officially signed with a record label, and it's my dream label. It's Sony Columbia Disruptor. So
wow,
yeah.
Let's give it up for that.
So I'm ecstatic. Thank you guys. It's like my big room full of my parents being like, "Good job, baby." Yeah, I'm so happy. I've been wanting to be signed. I mean, with Columbia's incredible. They're unmatched. I've been wanting to be signed to them forever. So I'm really excited. And right after Descendants 3, I have a whole bunch of songs lined up, and yeah, you guys are gonna get some actual content for once. I've been promising it since like 2011. I'm like, my album's coming this year, you guys. But yeah, so I figured my fans would be happy about that because things are rolling, things are happening.
Well, I love the follow through.
Thank you. I know. It's like I just have to say anything.
No, I mean, we're here first. You guys are lucky. Any sort of tease about what sort of sound we can expect from you?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I tend to lean towards pop, but I mean, I don't know if I could call it a traditional pop sound because I never want to be caught making a song just because I know it's going to be a hit. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I never want to put a song out because it sounds like what everything sounds like on the radio. I tried. But yeah, I think a lot of my fans will be very, very happy. My single talks about, I see fans like raising her eyebrows. She's like, yeah, girl, where's talks about? I know, I'm sorry. Basically, talks about will be coming, and the fact that I put out a actual single title, everybody's expecting talks about first. They're all like, where is it? Whatever single I put out first, whichever song makes the most sense with, whatever we decide when we get there, you guys are going to love it. And talks about will come. It might not be the first one, but I promise it'll come out, and it is a love song, and it is about Thomas. It's about Sir Thomas. But yeah, it's a lot of emotion in my music. It's a lot of production. I love production. I'll sit on the floor with a producer for 4 hours until I get something right. So you guys are going to be very pleased.
We can't wait to hear. I'm so excited. You mentioned The Descendants, and I have to touch on that for a second. The third movie is officially happening, and there was that teaser of you, kind of Mal's yet-to-be-known father might be reunited with her. That is such a hugely successful series. You have so many fans from that. What can you tell us about the new movie? How will it differ? How will it stay the same?
Imagine if I was like, well, we've already filmed it. Do you guys want to see the clip?
And here we go.
And here we go. You're at a Descendants 3 screening. Well, you guys aren't going to believe me. But we start shooting it in 5 weeks. And I promise you, I have not read a script. None of the actors have been sent a script. But I think they're really taking their time making sure that it's perfect. So I truly don't have anything to reveal to you guys. I know that Mal's father is in it. I've been told that we upped our wig game.
Always a good thing
Always
to hear.
good news. I know the head of the channel was like, we've upped our wig game. I was like, great, thanks for the scoop. But yeah, I know that the music is going to be bigger and better. I know that all your favorite people will be returning, and that's about all I know. But I promise I'll be keeping you guys up to date as we're filming the whole thing.
Are you excited to sort of return on screen with your boyfriend, Thomas?
That's the only thing I'm excited for. No, yeah, I mean, honestly, Descendants was in my life long before Thomas was. So my first thing that I'm most excited for in Descendants is just Descendants, because it's weird. We film so many things that seems like, they just pop up like in a little commercial, or in, you see like the photos of the dolls, or like these little things, these little magazine shoots we do, these, we go and we do these live performances on floats, and it seems like all these little things, but it takes so much time. And even before the 3 months of the movie, we have rehearsals for dancing and sword fighting, and we record the music, and then afterwards we do more photo shoots and music videos and all this stuff. I spend most of my life in a purple wig. Like, most of my life. I don't know who I am when I'm blonde. I'm like, who's that person in the mirror? But yeah, so Descendants feels like, it's almost like my alternate life. It's like I'm living like a dual life. So to go back to Vancouver and to stay, in the same place as I've done the first 2 films, and go to the same rehearsal space and get the massive boots back on to make me look like I could possibly be leading that group. So funny seeing me like 5'2" being like, get down here and listen to my orders. But yeah, so yeah, I couldn't be more excited to dip back into the world. And of course, yeah, I love having Thomas with me. I love him. He's my lover boy.
Well, fans can't wait for that. And we were going to go to audience Q&A, I promise. But before that, I love your work with Kristen Chenoweth in the movies. And, she recently...
In the movies.
She recently revealed that should the Wicked movie ever go into production after years of development, she would recommend that you play Glinda. And so what was that like to hear that Kristen Chenoweth recommended you?
Well, for some reason, you saying that right now, I'm like crying. You saying that to me, I'm like, I know. Yeah, well, I'm going to cry. I love Kristen more than anything, and it's actually so funny. She's like a real life mom to me, and she'll send me these videos of her, like when she's tucking in to go to sleep, and she'll go, Dovey, now baby, I haven't heard from you in a while. Are you good? Tell me you're good. Are you good? Are you eating? Baby, you look so beautiful on your Instagram. Just send me a quick video. Okay, I love you. I'll see you soon.
Oh my God.
She sent me, but she'll send me those, like how your mom does, where she's like, are you taking your medicine? Are you sleeping? So she's just like this really incredibly nurturing, like maternal, like she's one of the only people that I would tell anyone in the world. I'd be like, she's the only person that don't meet your heroes doesn't apply to. Like, so that's why it makes me so emotional. Not so much because she was my hero my whole life, but simply because she's like this human that shouldn't exist, She's like an angel, and I love her more than words. So to have her support in anything, it is a massive deal to me, and especially to have her support in something that was so near and dear to her heart, and a role that really formed me as a performer and an actor. I mean, yeah, feels like I'm living in a It's like I've died and gone to heaven. Feels like I'm living in a false reality. But yeah, I love you, Kristen.
She's a national treasure. But
She's a national treasure. But anyway.
Have you been approached? Has there been any conversations about you taking on the role?
Well, Wicked is one of those things that we're all kind of like, when are they actually going to make the movie? I know, same. I'm like, my alarm's been going off on my calendar for 10 years. So, I mean, I'm talking to the right people. I can promise you I will audition. They haven't auditioned anybody yet, I don't think. I don't know. I can't speak on that. I'm not involved at the moment, but I don't think anything's really happening yet with that. But I will keep you guys updated. It's like one of my dream roles, so.
She will audition. That's what I want to
hear.
I
will audition. That's all I can promise.
Okay.
I'll be very prepared.
I'm going to turn it over to you all. Who has the first question? Hi.
Hi. So my question is, like, how did you know that you wanted to, like, I guess, move away from Disney, and when did you know it was, like, the right time to move away from Disney to more adult, like, areas?
Okay. I'm really trying, you guys. It's this snow, I swear. Good question. So it's funny. My career has been one of those things, and it still feels so funny to be like, my career. But it's been one of those things that's just had such a natural evolution. And funny enough, people keep asking me that same question because I know it really looks like I've like attempted to move away from Disney. But actually, if you look back on, I guess, sort of the decisions I've made, just as an actor, you go out for as many things as you can, and you book what you book. And if you book a role and it's like really a terrible idea, you don't do it, obviously. But most of the time, you just kind of follow your heart and you take the next job and you learn. So if you look back at season 1 of Liv and Maddie, way back, I actually did this movie called Barely Lethal, which was in the middle of season 1 and 2 of Liv and Maddie, and that was a film that was a more adult role, and there were some things in that were not for my Disney audience, and I've done other things as well outside of Disney that they've been really kind and totally supportive with. The only reason I brought that up was because that was literally season 1, and so there's never really been a concerted effort to move outside of Disney, and I know that Hairspray Live and Mamma Mia and that kind of thing was. That was a bit more like on the path of Disney, like it didn't like disrupt anything. But I've never actually tried to be a part of be a Disney girl, as everyone likes to kind of say, and I've never tried to break out of Disney. They've been very supportive. It's like your parents being like, "Baby, I'll love you no matter what you do." Like they're very like, "Yeah, like if you can fit it in, like you should do anything that you want." So. I've never tried to move away from it. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I don't know if I had the emotional maturity to do that when I was younger. Ruby's definitely a more dynamic role than I might have had access to when I was 18 or so. But yeah, it's just kind of naturally evolved. So, yeah, I don't know. It seems like I really tried to break out, but I haven't. And I'm also still really happy with Disney. It's like I'm really happy in my relationship with Mickey Mouse. But yeah, I've got another Descendants movie to go, and I don't feel like I'm being kept anywhere.
I like that. That feels like a very healthy sort of relationship and professional, moment with Disney.
Yeah, it's definitely, they've been very kind, and there's like a mutual respect and love there. Yeah.
Great. Next question.
Hi, Dove.
Hiya.
So you said you're a huge fan of Marvel. Is there any one specific actor or actress in the Marvel universe who you haven't worked with already that you would love to work with?
I mean, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say Natalie Portman. Does she count?
Oh,
I mean,
God.
yeah, she's got to count. I saw her actually at the Golden Globes, and you guys, I can't explain to you the stress that happened to me between wanting to give her space and respect her as a human being and knowing that she was close enough that I could touch her hair. I was like, what do I do? Like, I really stood... There's got to be some, like, video of me standing just, like, generally around her, being like... And like I'm trying to tell my friends, I'm like, will you come up and say hi to Natalie Portman with me? And my friend Kiersey, she's like, no. She's like, leave her alone. I'm like, Kiersey, please do me this one solid and be my wingman and come up to Natalie Portman and let me touch her hair. She would not have my back. By the way, Kiersey, still mad at you. But yeah, I guess I would say Natalie Portman. She's because I'm in love with her. And if she asked me to marry her, I would, so.
What was it like to be at the Globes at that moment, and especially to be around Natalie, who's sort of helping spearhead the whole, Time's Up?
Oh, that
there?
was incredible. That was not what I thought you were going to ask, but now I'm in a different mode. That was incredible. That was one of those things where my first Golden Globes experience will always be the Time's Up movement. It will be affiliated with that forever. I mean, actually, it's really funny because you can see pictures of me on the carpet, which was surreal, beforehand. And, like, my makeup looks really good because shout out to my makeup artist, Lauren Anderson. And then you can see me at the party afterwards. And I've, like, sloppily reapplied it because I was crying the whole night. Like, I really sat there. And, like, people were, like, trying to, like, eat food and talk. And I was like, don't touch me. I was like, I'm watching something very important right now. And it was so emotional. It was so... I mean, I just feel lucky to be alive right now, And so then to be in the same room with all of these incredible, not only women, these incredible women, but, like, these incredible humans who were taking part in something so much bigger than all of us. Like, oh, you guys, I'm just a crying mess up on the AOL Build stage. But what I was going to say was I have a sneaky 4-second video of Meryl Streep on the red carpet.
Oh, my God.
Because she walked right in front of me. It was like all of I don't know if you guys have seen that shot of all of, like, the Time's Up, spearheading women on the carpet. They all, like, got together, and it's like Reese and everybody. And there's just, like, you see me in the background actually with Philip, my manager. You see me in the background with Philip, just, like, giving them all of their glory. And I was like, that's Meryl Streep. And I took a video of her on my phone because I was so scared to talk to her. It's just the back of her, and she's talking to somebody else. And I was like, that's all I need, Meryl. That's all I need from you. Thank you.
I mean, as we all would do.
I was, like, half expecting it to, like, disappear and burn on my phone. Like, you're not allowed to have this purity on your phone.
Can't be captured.
Exactly. I know she, like, doesn't appear. I was like, I knew it. I have to post it on Instagram, though, you guys. It's really embarrassing. But I think that we all need to see it.
Love to see. Okay, next question. Hi.
Hi, my name is Danielle. Hi. I'm just a really big fan of yours.
I'm a really big fan of yours and your boots.
Thank you.
You look so cozy.
Thank you. My question is, out of the many times you've been on TV, shows, and movies, which was the funnest to be on set of, like, to shoot?
Oh, that's a really good question. Well, I have been really lucky, and all the projects that I've worked on have been fairly, there's a lot of sides to Hollywood I have come to learn. But I'm lucky enough that I don't know that firsthand. Like I've had a lot of really stressless and, like, celebratory and kind and supportive sets, and it's really the people that make it, right? And I've had the most incredible people. Most recently, I would say I had the most fun on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. There's a lot of footage on Chloe's phone. Half of which I'm hoping she sends to me, the other half of which I'm hoping somehow gets deleted before anybody can see it. But I had so much fun on the S.H.I.E.L.D. set. I don't think I've laughed that hard since probably Liv and Maddie. And then I would also say Liv and Maddie because that group of people is so insane, like, so crazy. Most of the comedy that you guys saw, like, most of the comedy you guys actually didn't see. Like, there's so many bloopers, and so much of that was improv related that, like, that cast and I just bonded for life. I'm just begging Disney Channel for, like, a 1-hour reunion episode.
Please, the least we could do. Yeah, come on.
This is me pressuring them. I'm saying it publicly now. But I guess I would say either Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or Liv and Maddie. Or I don't know, Hairspray Live was amazing too. I've been really lucky. I love every cast I've ever worked with.
And we have one more question for you.
Hello, Dove.
Hi.
So my question to you is that, do you have any favorite moments to acting in Disney and the Marvel series right now?
Any favorite moments from Disney and Marvel?
Yes, correct.
You mean, like, my own experience on set?
Yes.
Yeah, loads. Kenny Ortega, who directs Descendants, is one of my favorite people in the entire world. You guys, You have no idea how funny he is. Like, he's just one of those people where, like, because he's very dapper and he loves his fedoras and he's like a really snappy dresser and he's so charismatic and he's really professional and he's hardworking and he's like this otherworldly legend, right? But it's so funny because you never get to see like what an absolute goof, crazy person he is, and he loves to pull pranks on set. And he's the warmest, most like nurturing. Like he's like a child. He's like an 11-year-old boy, and he's just one of my favorite people in the entire world. So I would say that most moments with Kenny on set for Descendants are my favorite moments because I'm hoping he adopts me one day. I love Kenny so much. If Kenny and Natalie Portman would just get married and then adopt me, and then Meryl can like somehow cut in, and then we can all just get a large house together.
I'd watch that sitcom.
I know, I'm pitching a lot of ideas, you guys. I'm pitching a lot of ideas today. I'm just hoping you guys go with one of them, mostly that one. But yeah, I would say any moment with Kenny is one of my favorite moments with Disney. And with Marvel, I mean, Clark is kind of the life of the party on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's so funny. So much of what makes it of Clark's material is his pitches. They're his improvs and his lines and like all these like little funny like Phil Coulsonisms are his ideas. And he and actually Ian have me in absolute stitches. But yeah, anything I get really close with my cast members. So anything relating to them those are always my most fun moments on set.
Well, we can't wait to see that behind-the-scenes footage. Make sure to
No,
text
I'm
Chloe.
terrified now. I shouldn't have said it.
We have to let you go, but thank you so much. Everyone, make sure to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on ABC, and let's give it up for Dove.
Yeah.